The Russian Navy is the naval arm of the Russian Armed Forces. The present Russian Navy was formed in January 1992, succeeding the Navy of the Commonwealth of Independent States, which had itself succeeded the Soviet Navy following the dissolution of the Soviet Union in December 1991. The regular Russian Navy was established by Peter the Great in October 1696. Ascribed to Peter I is the oft-quoted statement, "A ruler that has but an army has one hand, but he who has a navy has both." The symbols of the Russian Navy, the Street Andrew's flag and ensign, and most of its traditions were established personally by Peter I. Neither Jane's fighting ships nor the International Institute for Strategic Studies list any standard ship prefixes for the vessels of the Russian Navy. For official United States Navy photographs, they are sometimes referred to as RFS, Russian Federation ship. However, the Russian Navy itself does not use this convention. The Russian Navy possesses the vast majority of the former Soviet naval forces, and currently comprises the Northern Fleet, the Russian Pacific Fleet, the Russian Black Sea Fleet, the Russian Baltic Fleet, the Russian Caspian Flotilla, naval aviation, and the coastal troops, consisting of the naval infantry and the coastal missile and artillery troops. A recently approved rearmament program has placed the development of the Navy on an equal footing with the strategic nuclear forces for the first time in Soviet and Russian history. The program, covering the period until 2015, is expected to see the replacement of 45% of the inventory of the Russian Navy. Out of 4.9 trillion rubles, $192.16 billion, allocated for military rearmament, 25% will go into building new ships. "We are already building practically as many ships as we did in Soviet times," First Deputy Prime Minister Sergei Ivanov said during a visit to Severodvinsk in July 2007. "The problem now is not lack of money, but how to optimize production so that the Navy can get new ships 3, not 5, years after laying them down." Quotation mark. The Russian Navy suffered severely since the dissolution of the Soviet Union due to insufficient maintenance, lack of funding and subsequent effects on the training of personnel and timely replacement of equipment. Another setback is attributed to Russia's domestic shipbuilding industry, which is reported to have been in decline as to their capabilities of constructing contemporary hardware efficiently. Some analysts even say that because of this, Russia's naval capabilities have been facing a slow but certain irreversible collapse. Some analysts say that the recent rise in gas and oil prices has enabled a sort of renaissance of the Russian Navy due to increased available funds, which may allow Russia to begin developing the capacity to modernize. In August 2014, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said that Russian naval capabilities would be bolstered with new weapons and equipment within the next 6 years in response to NATO deployments in Eastern Europe and recent developments in Ukraine. Russia's military budget expanded from 1998 until 2015, but economic problems including a sharp decline in the oil price mean it will be cut in 2016. Higher expenditure led to an increase in numbers of ships under construction, initially focusing on submarines, such as the conventional Petersburg, Lada class and nuclear Severodvinsk, Yazan class. Some older vessels have been refitted as well. Jane's fighting ships commented in 2004 that the construction program was too focused on Cold War scenarios, given the submarine emphasis. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, share of modern armament in the Navy has reached more than 50% in 2014. A report from mid-July 2015 estimated the figure at nearly 40%. The Starogoshchai-class corvettes, the lead ship of which was laid down on December 21, 2001, is the first new surface construction since the collapse of the Soviet Union, while the new Admiral Sergei Gorshkov-class frigates marks the first attempt of the Navy to return to the construction of large blue water-capable vessels. The Russian Navy plans to procure 2 new classes of destroyer, the General Purpose Project 21956 in the 2010s and the Leader-class anti-air destroyer in the 2020s. The latter will likely carry the S-500 anti-ballistic missile system. On April 28, 2010, the Ukrainian parliament ratified an agreement to extend Russia's lease of Crimean base facilities to 2042 with an option for 5 more years, through 2047. Subsequent to the recent Russian annexation of Crimea, this agreement has been officially invalidated by the Russian Federation State Duma. The Russian Navy has also revealed that the Russia's Black Sea Fleet will receive 30 new ships by 2020 and will become self-sufficient with its own infrastructure in the Crimean Peninsula. The fleet will be updated with new warships, submarines, and auxiliary vessels within the next 6 years. The new ships being built for the Black Sea Fleet include 6 Admiral Grigorovich-class frigates and 6 Varshavyanki-class, improved Kilo-class, diesel-electric submarines. On December 27, 2015, state-owned United Shipbuilding Corporation declared that by 2019 the company would have the technical ability to build aircraft and helicopter carriers, which came as some surprise to analysts as previously the company had stated carrier building would not take place until 2025 at the earliest. Russia's only existing carrier, the Soviet-era Admiral Kuznetsov, will remain in service at least until 2030.